Hello, and welcome to the Extended School Year Program Overview for teachers of students participating on the alternate curriculum. This overview provides teachers with the information needed to implement our selected Extended School Year curriculum for students accessing the alternate curriculum. This year, we have selected two programs for use with our elementary students during ESY. The Learning to Get Along series, published by Free Spirit Publishing, and Millie's Math House, published by Attainment and Houghton Mifflin. You will receive a classroom set of 14 Learning to Get Along titles, along with 10 student workbooks for Millie's Math and a corresponding teacher's edition. Utilizing both whole and small group instructional strategies, this curriculum includes a sufficient amount of material for meaningful instruction throughout the 20 days of ESY. ESY alternate curriculum teachers will receive an email containing a suggested 4-week lesson plan along with additional instructional supports. The suggested daily plan identifies content and lessons for teaching our students functional English language arts, functional math, social skills, as well as suggested activities and a timeline for completing a community service learning project during ESY. The alternate curriculum overview aligns to functional performance indicators in each identified area shown above. Take a look at the first page of the elementary ESY curriculum overview. Here's what it looks like. The overview includes a skills scope and sequence for each instructional day. Included are suggested lessons for each week of ESY. Each day also has the suggested steps for implementing your class's extended school year community service learning project. Be creative. Here we see the Learning to Get Along series that will be used for teaching English language arts and social skills during ESY. The Learning to Get Along series is geared towards elementary students. The program offers multiple opportunities to reinforce and teach functional language arts skills. In addition, the program also can be used to teach and reinforce appropriate social skills. The Learning to Get Along series teaches the importance of appropriate social skills for our elementary age students. How is the series laid out? Well, there are 15 books with approximately 40 pages per book. The series is intended to be read aloud to students. All of the stories are well written, illustrated, and model positive behaviors throughout. Age-appropriate topics are used and are meant to improve social skills and help build students' character. In order to help you implement the Learning to Get Along series, let's take a look at one of the books, Understand and Care. Here are a couple of pages from the Understand and Care book. You can see how this part of the story emphasizes how we can understand how other people feel. These pages read, "I see my friend smile and laugh when she's happy. She enjoys being with people and likes things she sees. I understand how she feels. I smile and laugh at some of the same things." To build social skills using the Understand and Care book, we can teach empathy, a sincere personal understanding of how another person feels. In order to prepare lessons for the Learning to Get Along series, please be sure to pre-teach each lesson by incorporating an anticipatory set. An anticipatory set engages students with the theme of the book. Hold up the book, show them the cover, and ask them, why do you think it's important to understand and care for others? Record their responses. At this time, you may also ask prediction questions like, what do you think the story will be about? Who might be in the story? It is also very important to give each student the opportunity to read both the title and the author's name during the preview. For those learners who are nonverbal, you may pre-program single message devices so that they too can communicate their responses. You can simply add a message that reads both the title and the author's name, or provide potential responses for what they may think will happen in the story. After completing the anticipatory set, read the story aloud to your students. As you read each page spread, ask students questions like, what do you think's happening in this picture? How do you think he might feel? Throughout the book, you'll see many examples of children practicing empathy. A quick summary of empathy skills that are taught using the Understand and Care book are watch and listen to the person, remember when you have felt the same way, imagine how you might feel, ask what the person is feeling, and show that you care. There are several ways to reinforce ideas using the Learning to Get Along series. As you read through each story, use the additional questions provided in the back of the book to encourage discussion. For example, in Understand and Care, these reinforcement ideas may be found on pages 32 and 33. For example, how are these children feeling? How can you tell? When are some times that you are happy? How does it feel to be happy? Include in your discussion other words for happy. Children may suggest feelings like nice, or good, excited, or pleased, or content, or joyful. Continue to ask questions provided for this set of pages. How do you show you're happy? To help you better implement each lesson, use the other questions provided to increase both comprehension and student participation. All of our students can participate in the writing process. There are many ways to differentiate for your ESY class. Depending on the student's ability levels and access, this process can be differentiated. Your students can complete each sentence using a word bank. Your students can cut out words and paste them in order to complete a sentence. In addition, they may cut and paste corresponding pictures to complete each sentence. Please remember that all of the books from the Learning to Get Along series have resources located at the back of each book. Those resources include various comprehension questions, reinforcement ideas, and games that pertain to each book's topic. Millie's Math House provides opportunities for students to develop functional math skills during ESY. You will receive 1 teacher's edition and 10 student workbooks. In Millie's Math House, the teacher's guide or manual is referred to as the Student Activity Guide. A picture of the guide appears on the slide. Included in the Student Activity Guide is a table of contents, an overview, and 9 topics of math instruction. Lessons from the topics have been selected for ESY instruction, and the pages are to be taught are listed in the overview. The Millie's Math House program is aligned to many standards outlined by the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. Those standards include numbers and operation, algebra, measurement, data analysis, problem solving, communications, and connections. In Millie's Math House, students use their knowledge of numbers and operations to solve various sets of problems. They learn how to use whole numbers and fractions as they develop problem-solving skills and abilities. Students learn to solve problems across various exercises that deal with measurement. Measurement activities teach students important real-life skills. Students learn to solve problems that include length, width, capacity, temperature, money, and time. In Millie's Math House, students learn to use mathematical language through pictures, graphs, and mathematical computations. They are encouraged to discuss, read, and write to express mathematical ideas found in word problems. Students also discover that mathematical ideas are connected and can be applied to real-life situations. Students are encouraged to use these learned math skills as they make connections and work towards generalization in a variety of situations. Millie's math house may need to be modified or adjusted for some of your students who are non-readers and who are early symbol users. Here are a few suggestions of ways in which early symbol users can participate using Millie's math house. For example, when you're talking about cookies and counting, you can have students choose a real object represented in the story. Present the student with an object that is represented in the story. Have them select the cookie and say, "That's right, our story problem is about cookies." You may also have students match a real object to a photo of an object. Using our cookie example, having the students match a real cookie to the photo of a cookie in order to help build their picture discrimination. You may have an augmented communication device, or AAC device, for students who may be nonverbal in order for them to participate. You can pre-record various topics on an AAC device, allowing students to interact with others in the class. There are other ways that early symbol users can participate. You may present them with two objects and ask them to choose an object related to the problem. For example, when teaching a money problem, have students choose between two objects, one being a non-money object such as a book or a sock, and a dollar bill. Can they successfully pick out the dollar bill from the distractors? For some of our students, their objectives for a Millie's Math House lesson may be a bit different than for some of the other students, but they can still participate in the lesson with the help of these instructional modifications. The tiered learning model has three distinct tiers of instruction. In the I do step, the teacher models the lesson. In the we do step, teachers and students participate together in the lesson. In the you do step, students are supported in order to do this independently to the greatest extent possible. Let's take a look at the tiers. Tier 1, here's an example of what planning for tiered instruction for Tier 1 might look like. First, decide that in your first few lessons, you'd like to do a Millie's Math House worksheet together as a whole group. This could be your first tier of instruction. It's the modeling or the I do tier. Essentially, the teacher provides the lesson and models the skill being taught. Tier 1 is often done whole group. Be sure that all students are actively involved throughout the tiers. In Tier 2 of instruction, there may be small group instruction using instructional assistants to support small groups. This is known as the We Do phase, Tier 2. During the We Do phase, we get the students into small groups and use a variety of instructional strategies to help our students practice and learn from different people and from each other. During the Tier 3 phase of instruction, we see independent practice. To what degree can the student show mastery of the skill taught using the greatest amount of independence possible and the least amount of support? This will look different for each student. Evaluation or assessment may be included after Tier 3 or as part of Tier 3. The Learning to Get Along series provides additional opportunities for practice to support generalization of skills. Millie's Math House teaches mathematical concepts in a variety of functional ways. So, because our two curriculums work together, it makes it easy for teachers to create additional practice using real-life situations and applications. Many of the selected topics for ESY can be extended within the classroom and even beyond into the student's home and community. If you have any questions regarding the alternate curriculum for elementary students during this year's ESY, please contact Nathan Edson at 213-241-8050. Thank you and have a great summer teaching.